If you're a tri-tip fan, stick around because you're gonna wanna see this recipe. Today we're grilling up a tri-tip roast on my Monument Grill's Denali series grill. We're gonna throw some potatoes and corn on, make a cowboy butter. Actually gives me a great idea. Yeehaw! Howdy, partner! Today we're gonna be making cowboy butter and put it on everything in our recipe. We're grilling up a tri-tip on our Monument Grill's Denali series grill, putting potatoes together, corn, and all the cowboy butter you could eat.
All right, buckaroos, time to trim up that tri-tip. I'm just kidding. Let's get the tri-tip trimmed up. First, this weird looking fatty stuff needs to go. It's never going to render down, so we want to trim most of this fat off and any silver skin that you can get off as well because it never breaks down and it's going to make the bite chewy. Now we are going to trim, but don't over trim. Leave some of the fat because obviously fat's good and that's where the flavor comes from. We're going to season it and don't be shy. I love coating my tri-tip first with some SPG liberally on both sides. Then I'm going to hit it with my own special blend of barbecue rub. I'll leave the ingredients down in the description if you're interested. And then we're really going to make sure we pack this on because it's a thick cut and only the outside is going to get any of this. Now we're going to let it hang out for a couple minutes while the grill heats up, and that's going to give the salt enough time to do its thing and takes the fridge chill off. Speaking of, let's get the grill going. We're going to do 2 zones, one side on running at 325 and the other side totally off. The meat's going to go on the off side and that's going to give us a reverse sear. There's no flame under the meat, just gentle heat so it cooks nice and even all the way through. Probe's going to go in right to the thickest part, right in the middle. And then I've got some potatoes wrapped in tinfoil to put up on top. And if you got a smoke pipe, I highly suggest using one. Throw in your pellets and ignite it. Easy smoke flavor on a gas grill with no fire to babysit. Shut the lid and now we've got about an hour to kill. And while we're waiting, that gives us time to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Monument Grills. Honestly, I've been cooking outside all week on the Monument Denali 605 Pro, so let me show you why I haven't gone inside. It's got 6 burners, which is huge for reverse sear like today because I need a cool side and a screaming hot side going on at the same time. The knobs even light up in different colors for your heat levels, which sounds like a gimmick until you're out here grilling after dark. The part that's been getting the most work is that side searing station. It can get up to 700 degrees in about 10 minutes, and that's where that steakhouse crust comes from, and I'm having so much fun with this one. A couple things I didn't expect to love. There's a window right in the lid, so I can keep an eye on whatever's cooking without opening it up. I can keep my eye on whatever's cooking without opening it up and dumping out all my heat. And there's a ton of room, about 900 square inches, so feeding the family plus a few extra, nobody's waiting on batches. And the whole grill runs off an app over Bluetooth, so I just set a temp alarm and go hang with the family while the food is cooking. And I've got a discount code for you guys, and it's gonna be down in the description if you're interested. While we're waiting for our tri-tip to get up to temp, let's make some cowboy butter. If you make one thing today, make this. It's so good. We're gonna melt our butter down. I nuked it for about 30 seconds. Then goes garlic, lemon juice, the zest from that lemon, horseradish, a splash of Worcestershire, a little hot sauce, some Dijon, some fresh parsley and chives, salt and pepper, and then some barbecue rub. Give it a good stir. You might want to add a little more barbecue sauce to get the color that you want. We're going to set it aside, and yeah, that's my phone going off. Perfect timing. We hit 115, so we're searing now. And here's why I pulled it off at 115 and not higher. It's going to keep climbing while it sears like another 20 degrees, and I'm shooting for 135. So if you wait too long, you're gonna blow right past it. Crank that searing burner, meat goes right over the flame and it's gonna soak up all the 78,000 of those BTUs. Stay on it though. Rotate the grate and flip every couple minutes. We're gonna do about 10 minutes till the middle hits 135, then it's gonna come off to rest. Please do not skip the rest. I promise, cut it too early and all the juices are gonna run out. Little cowboy butter is gonna go right on top while it sits. And hey, hot grill, let's not waste it. Let's get some corn going on, shall we? We're gonna get that sweet corn right over the direct heat. Let it sit longer than you think. You actually want some char here. Brush some of that cowboy butter on, and then we're gonna flip it about every 2 to 3 minutes and continue to baste. And the potatoes are just about done, so I'm gonna pull them off of the top before I crank everything to high because we really wanna char the corn up because, hey, a little flame never hurt anyone. Go ahead and pull it and then get the corn off the cob. And about that, if you're gonna cut corn off the cob, don't do it like I just did. Hey, I know to stand it in a bowl. I know nitro gloves and butter don't mix, but did I listen? No. So let's pretend I'm doing this over a bowl with a paper towel to keep grip of the corn and everything's coming off perfectly and looks so beautiful on camera, shall we? Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for, the tri-tip is rested, let's cut into it. And look at that. edge to edge, no gray. That's the reverse sear paying off. And we've got to give it that squeeze because it's not a meat video if you don't squeeze it like a sponge. Now this part actually matters, and you can nail the cook and still mess it up right here. Watch how the grain runs because it can change direction in a tri-tip. It goes one way over here, switches over there. So you can't just cut straight across the whole thing. Find which way the lines run and then cut against them. And that's what's going to make it tender. Cut the wrong way and it's chewy, even if you cooked it perfect. So I normally don't do this, but we're going to put it in a potato. So I'm going to go ahead and cube it up, and I'm going to put it back in the bowl that it's been resting in so it soaks all those juices right back up. But heads up, I'm only cutting what we're eating right now. The family's not going to be eating for hours, and tri-tip keeps way better left whole. It dries out once you slice it, so cut as you go, not all at once. Now we're going to build our loaded tri-tip cowboy corn potato-y thing. Yeah, I don't got a name for this yet. So we're going to cut the potato open. Then we're going to put the cowboy butter in first, right into the hot inside so it melts right in. Then we're going to top it with cheese. And because I'm a dad and I'm impatient, we're going to go ahead and torch this so we make sure it's nice and melted. Then we're going to pile on some of that chopped tri-tip. Crispy onions. Some of that charred corn. And then a little more tri-tip just so you know it's there. A little more crispy onions, and then some chives. Oh man, this is the way to go. Low and slow, big sear, and that butter is just pulling it all together. I already know Kenzie's gonna eat all the corn and still half my tri-tip, which in this house means it's a winner. So go ahead and make this. If you like what you see, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next cook.